Hey everybody, welcome to Essential Yoga November. This is the month of gratitude, and this blend of oils combined with the practice is absolutely beautiful. And the workshop today is going to feature some oils and some blends that really invite us to return to the heart and return to love and appreciation. So all of those things sort of go together when we think about the goodness in our lives. And I like to joke that part of my job title is the giver of goodness. So I think it's really right up my alley to teach this particular class. So the essential oils that you will need for this class, we're going to start with rosemary, and rosemary will go in your diffuser if you have it. If you have a diffuser, if you don't, you can use a glass spray bottle and spray your space. And if you don't have that, you can just smell it directly from the bottle. Rosemary is one of my favorite oils to use. And we're going to talk a little bit as we go through the practice about the benefits of the oils, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You will need lemon essential oil to put a drop in your water, and always use a glass, a clear glass or stainless steel or something like that, but never ceramic or never plastic when we put oils in water. You just need a drop. So I like to use a mason jar and just fill it with water and put a drop of lemon in there. So you're going to need that. And we'll talk about why as we move through. And then you'll need ginger. And ginger is a wonderful, warm, spicy oil. And we're actually going to use ginger today with the lemon. So if you get samples from me, it'll be a combination of a little tiny roller of ginger and lemon. And we'll talk about why when we get there. You'll need Breathe respiratory blend. This is the one that makes you open up your airways. It feels amazing on the chest. It smells great. So you'll need Breathe. You'll also need Wild Orange, which is one of my favorite, most common oils used in my family. And then you'll need sandalwood. I prefer Indian sandalwood to Hawaiian sandalwood because it's a little earthier. If you tend to love sweet aromas, then I would opt for the Hawaiian sandalwood. Both of them have the same benefits, so it's totally a preference up to you. The oil that you would get from me as a sample would be Indian sandalwood. So that's what you're going to need. And the practice today is going to be very heart-centered, and it's going to be very basic. We're sort of going to return to what we know and kind of let all of the other stuff that sometimes complicates our practice just kind of go away today. So I really want you to come back home to you just feeling really good in your body. So like we always do in my classes, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off, and you will just be listening to my voice. Be sure to put some quiet music on. If you like to practice with music, you can also follow my Spotify list and find my favorite yoga music there. And it's just under my name. So go ahead and get comfortable on your mat. We're actually going to start on our backs today. So go ahead and lie down on your mat, and I'm going to turn off my camera, and you will just hear my voice. So get settled on your mat. It's such a beautiful, beautiful way to start a practice, to hunker in and just sort of stop for a moment. I like to say that this posture of laying on our back is just like hitting the pause button of life. Hitting the pause button. It's a beautiful opportunity to take everything that's going on in our world and just let it be on the outside of our practice. So today's workshop is designed to inspire us to dig in and really see where our heart is making our priorities, and are they aligned with our true purpose? So gratitude gives us this opportunity to return to what is good. And our brain is hardwired as humans to live in the place of lack and limitation, even fear and the unknown. And sort of we tend to go there as humans. But when we practice gratitude, and the research supports this, we can actually pave some new neural pathways in the brain, which really help us to see the glass half full rather than half empty, or even better, just to see the glass as it is. But when we practice gratitude, we really start to cultivate a sense of abundance, because we're looking constantly for all that is good in our life. So I chose rosemary to start our practice. So if you're laying on your back, just grab your rosemary. Maybe it's in your diffuser and you don't need to do that. So physically, rosemary is going to help with any sort of respiratory function. It helps us to take that deeper breath. So take a smell of it. You might even put some in your hands, cup your nose. This exhilarating scent is really beneficial to helping with concentration, recall, and memory. The research says that one smell of rosemary is going to increase your long-term memory by 75%. So this is an oil that is called the oil or the herb of remembrance. This one helps us to open up our conscious mind to focus on the good for the next 45, 50 minutes. Emotionally, rosemary is the oil of knowledge and transition. This one helps us to look deeper within ourselves, knowing that we have the ability to discover our own answers to the obstacles in our life, that we can see the good. This one supports a very healthy ego, one that values ourselves and our purpose in the world. This is really a supportive oil for empowerment. This one boosts our confidence and our morale. And I picked it today to start our practice to open up our hearts and our minds to the potential for shifting our mind and our awareness to goodness. So take just a few minutes to soak that into your body. Now start to splay your arms out like a T, long on the floor. So your arms will be off the mat. You might feel the texture of perhaps a tile floor or wood floor, maybe carpeting, maybe you're outside on your deck, but you open up and you feel. And just notice what that does to your heart. Bring your knees into your chest here. So we have the lower body kind of squeezing and contracting and the upper body really open. And then you'll take a breath in and drop your knees over to the left side. And just notice how the head naturally wants to turn to the right. Just allow it. Remember, we're not going to resist much today's practice. We're going to allow ourselves to be open. And we're going to be thinking about the heart space a lot today. So notice how your heart sort of wants to roll to the right and it's a little bit elevated. Beautiful. And now bring your knees back up to center and you'll drop them over to the right and your head will naturally turn to the left. It's like we just know. We enjoy how we feel and we allow the body to sort of guide us. So nice. Go ahead and bring your knees back to center and drop your feet to the mat, but keep your knees nice and bent here. Your heels are going to nestle close to your cheeks and your arms will come down by your side. And you feel that. So we now have this natural curve in our spine that maybe the low back's not touching the mat. That's perfect. We're going to tuck that space and tuck under so that the low back does engage with the mat. It's called a pelvic tilt. Then go ahead and come back to a neutral pelvis where there's that little bit of tiny space in the low back. It's all dependent on the curvature of your spine. And then you'll pelvic tilt and imprint that against the floor. So just take a few of those, just starting to find some movement through the pelvis and through the hips. Perfect. And now go ahead and come back to the neutral. And now imprint your spine, push into your feet and start to elevate your hips. It's called a bridge pose. It's a classic pose for opening up the heart because you'll notice now as the hips are as high as they can go, your heart is above the head. This is an excellent posture for quieting the mind. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed and keep pushing into your feet and keep lifting the hips as high as you can. So it's a beautiful, empowering pose to begin the practice. And your heart now is leading the way rather than the mind. Beautiful. Take a breath in and lift an inch. And then begin to lower the body all the way back, bone by bone. So you get to the very bottom of your spine. And then when you do, hug your knees in. Go ahead and tip over to one side. And it doesn't necessarily matter which side you choose. So you're curled up into this tiny little shell of yourself. It's called a fetal position, but it really represents a newness. And as we begin this month of gratitude, Perhaps you can make an intention to yourself, a commitment to see the good, to see the good, to see the gift in your obstacles even. Go ahead and push yourself up to a seat and go ahead and sit cross-legged. So we're going to talk a little bit about lemon here. So if you have your glass of water and your drop of lemon in there, go ahead and take a sip of that. And this one is so uplifting and bright. It's an excellent choice internally when we take it. If you use an appropriate brand I'm sending you. It cleanses the body and aids in digestion. This one is also excellent for assisting in some of the respiratory things that come up seasonally, helps to loosen up some of the congestion in our lungs. And it's just an excellent choice for that. Emotionally, spiritually, this is the oil of focus. So this one is going to calm sort of the craziness of our mind and sort of laser sharp our focus, allowing us to stay really present today in the practice. This one encourages us to take one task at a time, lightening our mental load, restoring our energy. It has a lot of benefits, but I picked it today to help us sort of release any obstacles and open us up. Remember this congestion that we have, whether it's a physical congestion of seasonal threats to emotional congestions that weigh us down, make us feel heavy and sluggish. We're gonna move that today. So once you take your sip or smell of lemon, go ahead and set it down. Put your hands on top of your knees. So the knees are bent here, sitting cross-legged. Start to pull your belly in, tuck your pelvis under, just like you did on the mat just a moment ago, and round your shoulders and tuck your chin. So this is opening up the heart to the back. We are separating our shoulder blades here. We're creating this roundness through the back. And this is giving a very symbolic message to the past as the heart is looking that direction to say, okay, I get it. I can see now that that experience led me to today. Now we're going to reverse that shape in your spine. Push your belly forward, push your heart forward, and lift your nose up towards the ceiling. So now we're leading the heart forward. We're going towards something good. We're going to find this unique rhythm here with our breath, and we're going to pay sort of an honor to the past and an honor to the future while staying in the present with our breath. How beautiful is that? So take a breath in here, lift your nose maybe an inch. Beautiful. Now round your spine, separate your shoulder blades, tuck your chin, and honor the past. You'll inhale, lift your nose, open yourself up to the future, and then exhale, round your spine and honor the past. Keep going just like that. Finding this flexion and extension in the spine. Remember, the spine physically is what the yogis feel really governs the health of the whole body. This motion of cat and cow is excellent for the immune system. It's excellent for opening up the lungs. It's excellent for finding equanimity and balance between the inhale and the exhale, the flexion and extension, the past and the future. Take 5 more of those. Beautiful. After your 5th and final seated cat and cow, go ahead and straighten the spine. And we're going to move right into a seated twist. So very foundational practice today. Go ahead and get long through your spine, but take your left hand and put it over on top of your right knee. Bring your right arm behind you. You'll take a long breath in and then begin to turn to the right and just let your eyes follow all the way to the back. So remember, our spine moves in 6 directions. We're getting all 6 pretty quickly into the practice. So these twists are wonderful. The flexion and extension are wonderful. Beautiful. Come back to center. Right hand to left knee. Get long first. And now spin to the left. Beautiful. Let your eyes go to the back. Take a couple breaths here. Remember, twists are excellent for sort of cleansing the body, getting rid of what doesn't belong, what's not good. Beautiful. Now come back to center. So let's finish up the 5th and 6th direction of the spine. Take your right arm up to the sky. Lift it an inch, like really find space on the right side. And take a breath in. And then reach over your head to the left and feel that side body bend. So we have twists flexion and extension. And now we get side body bends. Come back to center and lower your right hand. Perfect. Left arm goes high. Find space. Reach an inch. And then up and over the head it goes. We really feel that space through the left armpit all the way down into the left hip. Come back to center. Go ahead and lower the left arm, slow as you go. Nice. Roll over onto all fours. Perfect. So we're going to find just a cat and cow in a traditional posture. Hands are under your shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide here. Notice that your spine is just in a neutral space. Go ahead and push against the floor, round your spine, separate your shoulder blades, really start to pay attention to the body here. Let the head hang, even tuck the chin. So we've created this big arch of the spine. This is our cat pose, like a cat stretches in the morning. But I want you to really feel the separation of the shoulder blades. Let your heart rise up as you draw the sternum in. Beautiful. And now reverse it. Belly starts to sag. Heart starts to come down and then it reaches forward as the nose travels up. Stay and breathe. Remember, future, leading the way with the heart. Take a breath in. And now round your spine and pay your honor to the past. What's behind you? Let your heart go there. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your nose. Exhale, round over. Start to feel that beautiful rhythm of your own breath here. Feeling the rhythm. Nice. Take just a few more. Now go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Separate your knees just a little bit, almost to the edges of the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Let your hips sink way, way, way back, maybe to the heels. Notice that the heart melts to the ground. The forehead presses against the floor. Just feel that for a moment. This is child's pose, another very classic posture of returning home to stillness. Anytime in the practice you want to come back here and gather up your breath, it's a beautiful place to go. Now we're going to rise back up to all fours. And now tuck your beautiful toes under. We're going to find downward facing dog. So you look like an upside down V shape. The knees are nice and bent here. We don't worry about having straight legs. We get so confused over what's the right way to do this. And really, it should feel nice. It should feel that your eyes are looking at your toes. The weight of your body's more in the legs than in the wrists. And we're not drilling into the joints. Maybe you start to pedal your feet. I prefer to have my legs really wide here. Just find what feels good in this upside down V shape. Beautiful. And now shift your eyes forward. Begin to walk your feet forward. And as you walk your feet forward, you might pick up that bottle of Breathe blends, that beautiful respiratory blend that we love so much. And you'll get to a forward fold and the knees will be bent here. Slide your hands up to your shins, maybe look forward. And then go ahead and fold. Start to build your body up to a standing position. Maybe the eyes stay closed here. I enjoy that so much, just to feel when you get to the very top, you'll take a long exhale. Sort of a sigh of relief. You have arrived in this standing position. Go ahead and take your Breathe bottle. And I like to hold it with one hand and palm face up with the other. Just sort of tap the bottom of that little tiny dram. We call it a little tiny bottle. This puts a few drops of this Breathe blend into your hands. So go ahead and rub your hands together. And this is a powerful blend here. So we're going to go slow to start. Just wave your hands close to your nose and breathe that in. It has laurel leaf, which is an excellent choice for opening up the heart, opening up the lungs. Peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, lemon, and ravensara. These oils combined together really support a healthy respiratory system and maintaining feelings of this sort of open airway. And now go ahead and cup your nose, but take small breaths here. Let the aroma go into the nose and open up the airways. This is a great combination for any sort of seasonal threats, respiratory discomfort. It's great to put right on your chest if you feel congestion in your chest. It's excellent for sleeping well. It helps with snoring and all of those things that sort of come from breath. Now, I want you to keep your hands over your mouth and your nose, but open your lips just a little bit and take a breath in. Feel how that beautiful aroma goes into the airways to the lungs. Can you feel it opening up? Such a beautiful oil. It's known emotionally as the oil of breath, and this one really helps us to deepen our life experience, to take in more of what life offers, to fully inhale to what life is. This one helps us release some grief and some fear, making way to just receive love and to open ourselves up to goodness. Helps us to feel supported. And I picked it today to start our true physical part of our practice, just to help us be grateful and to know that we can breathe out things that we don't need and breathe in what life has to offer. This beautiful combination, this beautiful way that we breathe in and breathe out can really be used as to draw in all that is good and to release all that no longer serves us. So go ahead and take a few moments with your eyes closed, your hands over your beautiful face, breathing in that beautiful blend. So nice. We're going to start just a simple sun salutation, going back to the basics. We're going to work on our heart a little bit. Go ahead and slide your arms all the way up to the sky, mountain pose, this posture of strength. Take your pinkies and spiral them slightly inward. Splay your fingers out wide like beautiful 5-fingered star. And you can feel that just by adjusting the pinkies, we have this heart that begins to elevate. You might even draw your eyes up. You'll take a breath in here. Now bend your elbows and notice what happens to your heart. It elevates, leading into the future of goodness. Come back to a straight spine with arms high. You'll breathe. And then fold over your legs and let go. Slide your hands to your shins. And then another exhale will allow you to fold. We're going to rebuild the spine. I'm going to do this one more time. Get to the very top. Lower your shoulders. Breathe out big. Just let go. Slide your arms up high. You'll take a breath in. And then bend your elbows and exhale. Recreate length on your inhale. And now fold over your legs. Here's where we add on. Right foot's going to step way back. Left knee will stay bent. We're going to come up to a lunge right away. So bring your arms up. Your torso will be directly over your hips. Your arms are over your shoulders, but we're going to find that splayed finger spiraling inward of the pinkies here in this classic lunge pose. So we're really pushing back with the right heel towards the back edge of our mat as the left knee is bent. So we're going to sink into the bent left leg. Really feel that here. So we're going to play with the heart again. You'll take a breath in. Bend your elbows. Let your heart rise. Really find that back bend here. It's so beautiful. Stay for a breath cycle or two. First time through, we're going to go very, very slow here. Then find length of the arms again, straight over the torso. You'll breathe. Beautiful. Now bring your hands down to the mat. Perfect. So keep the left knee bent. Your right hand is going to stay on the mat. As your left arm goes up to the sky and our heart is really turning towards that bent left leg. Shoulders are stacked. It's called dragonfly. Let's play for a moment. Take a breath in and now spin your heart up, up, up. Really let it go up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Do you feel what happened on the exhale? There was this big release. Come back to center. You'll take a breath in and now lower your left arm to the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left. You'll be in a fold. Take an extra step if you need to. It's no big deal. Come up halfway. Fold deep. And this time only, we're going to roll up slow. And when you get to the top, you'll have that giant exhale. Go ahead and cup your hands over your nose between sides. We're going to re-breathe in that beautiful breath, that beautiful oil, opens up the airways, that it reminds us to have this opening for love, for safety, and for genuine healing. Allow the airways to open, the heart to open. Let's try that whole series on the other side. So you're going to take a breath in and the arms go high. You will bend your elbows and exhale. Find length on your inhale. And then just allow the body to fold on your exhale. This time the left foot steps way back. Left heel stays up off the mat. Right knee bends. Begin to bring your torso over your hips. Arms will be over the shoulders. Splay your fingers. Spiral your pinkies inward and just see how that subtle change elevated the heart. Take a breath in here. And now bend your elbows. Take the back bend. Maybe even look up. Feel that. Come back to center. Take a breath in. Arms go high. And now bring your hands down to the mat. The right knee stays bent. Left hand stays on the mat. And the right arm goes high, high as you can go. We're going to take a long breath in here. And now spin your heart up towards the ceiling. Feel that. Elevate the heart. Goodness. Come back to center. Lower your right hand and then step your left to meet your right. Maybe it takes a couple steps. It's no big deal. We're going to take this one breath, one movement. Maybe you bring your hands across your nose again and breathe in that beautiful, powerful blend of essential oils. Come up halfway. Fold a little bit deeper. This time we're going to come up with some power. You'll inhale to the mountain pose. All the way up you go. Beautiful. And now bend your elbows and exhale. Let go. Come back to center. Long breath in. Fold over your legs and breathe out. Right leg's going to step back. Take a breath to get there. On your next inhale, bring your torso and your arms up, maybe the eyes. On your exhale, bend your elbows and offer your heart to the future. Come back up to center, arms go long. And now float them down to the mat and breathe out. Right hand stays. Left arm on your inhale reaches, shoulders stack. On your exhale, spin your heart to the future up. Come back to center, left arm goes high. Float it down and exhale. Beautiful. The inhale brings your right leg to meet your left at the top. And the exhale, you fold a little deeper. Inhale, reach up, rise up, maybe even look up. It's a long breath. Bend your elbows and cactus your arms. Find length on your inhale. Fold over your legs. Feel that? Left foot this time, step it way back. Take a breath to get organized. On your next inhale, bring your arms up, your torso up, maybe the eyes. Bend your elbows and let the heart go high. Nice. Come back to center, arms go high. And let them float down. Frame your right foot. Left hand stays, right arm goes up. We turn to the right. Take a breath. And then open the heart. Come back to center. Lower the hand. And step the feet together. Let's take it again. Take a halfway lift. And a fold. Beautiful. Reach and rise. You know where to go. Bend your elbows. Reach up. Beautiful. Forward fold. Go ahead and let the right foot step back. When you're ready, you'll organize yourself and come up to the lunge. From there, you'll take that back bend, really reaching with the bent elbows. Come back to center. Float your arms down. Find the dragonfly twist to the left. And then when you get there, really spin your heart. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then the arm will float down. The feet will come together and you'll take it to the other side. The reach and rise all the way up. The cactus of the arms. The forward fold. The left foot stepping back. The crescent lunge. The back bend with the bent elbows. Find length. Float down. Beautiful. Feet come together. Take one more round on your own. This very simple and basic classic variation of a sun salutation. This is to find your rhythm of your breath, to connect that movement with breath, to let the heart lead the way. And when we find this beautiful rhythm of breathing in and breathing out and moving in conjunction with the breath, we can find that the exhale really does release, make space for what is good. So go ahead and take the right side, then the left side, and I'll meet you at the top of the mat in a forward fold. Just feel the rhythm. Feel the rhythm. Beautiful. From the forward fold, stay and breathe. Stay and breathe. Start to rise up. Just go slow here. So nice. Beautiful. We're going to move through just a short sequence here to get us back to downward facing dog. Take your arms up to the sky, that mountain of strength. Bend your elbows again, let your heart shine. So nice. Come back to center, and then you'll fold over your legs and you'll step both feet back to a push-up position. You might take your knees, you might stay on your toes. You'll take a breath in, and then you'll lower all the way down to the mat. So your belly is on the ground. Go ahead and walk your hands off of your mat. So they're going to be right there on the outside edges of your mat, palm face down, and then let your elbows sort of rotate up towards the ceiling. So you almost have like this L shape of the arms, like cricket wings, I like to call it. So they're really up high. And our forehead is going to stay down on the mat for a moment. So I want you to feel the upper back, the thoracic spine, how the shoulder blades with the elbows up, they're kind of coming in towards each other just a little bit. Nice. Now take a breath in and begin to push the belly down as the heart lifts and the eyes come up. So it's a wide-armed cobra. Then lower your forehead when you breathe out. Let's do that 3 more times just to find it. So you'll inhale, lift your heart, lift your nose. Exhale, lower your forehead. 2 more. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your nose. Exhale, lower your forehead. Let's do 1 more. Beautiful. Now we're going to inhale, lift your heart, lift your nose, stay. Turn to the right and exhale. See how the thoracic spine moves? Come back to center, lift maybe higher. Turn to the left. Feel that upper body. Beautiful. Come back to center. Lower your forehead and pause. We're going to take that again. I really want you to feel how the heart can rotate through the thoracic spine. Here we go. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your nose. Exhale, turn to the right, look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Turn to the left, look, look, look. Come back to center, lift an inch. Now lower your forehead. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, back on the mat, tuck your toes, and find downward facing dog. Nice. Take a breath or 2 here. Take a long breath in, and your right leg is going to go high to the sky. When you exhale, bring your right foot forward between your hands. You're going to plug the entire back foot down against the mat. Windmill the arms up. It'll bring the torso up. Arms will be long here, lengthwise along the long edge of your mat, and you're going to have your right hand forward. So it's warrior 2, this posture of strength. It's a posture of balance between the front and the back. It's a beautiful posture to remind you of so much strength within you. Beautiful. So we're going to stay for a breath or 2 here, and I want you to really focus on the space along your chest. See if your arms can reach even further here. Nice. Take a long breath in, and when you exhale, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers. Just stay right there. Draw your hands down your backside, squeezing your shoulder blades together. This forces the heart to push forward. Now lift your nose here. Beautiful. See, we get the back bend again, which is the heart opener. Take a big breath in. And now hinge forward, bringing your right shoulder just inside your right knee. Now your hands might want to even reach more towards the ceiling, or they might be more comfortable down by your low back. You pick. This is the posture of humble warrior. Beautiful. The warrior of humility. We must always remember our humility. Perfect. Draw your belly in, tuck your chin. See if you can round into this even more. Feeling the shoulder blades separate again, right? When we round the spine and tuck the chin, we have this opening to the back, to the past, to what was. Nice. Now slowly begin to rise. You're going to keep your hands interlaced. Just turn and pivot towards the long edge of your mat, towards the left side. All 10 toes are facing that long edge. The heels are directly behind the toes. So the feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. Not turned in, not turned out. See if you can drag your interlaced fingers down your backside even more, squeezing your shoulder blades even more, maybe lifting your nose. So we feel this, again, back bend, extension of the spine, leading the heart forward. So beautiful. Now come back to a straight spine. Keep your hands just as they are. Begin to fold, wide-legged fold. Again, hands might elevate to the sky. They might stay on the low back. But we feel the space here. We feel the space. Just take a few moments here. So good. Hands come to the low back. We unhook that basket. We unhook the weaving of our fingers and slowly begin to rise up. Turn towards the back of your mat. Bend your left knee. Right foot should be perfect position. Splay your arms out to that warrior two posture. You're looking over your left hand. Nice. And you're reaching both arms as long as you can be. Finding the space along your heart. Perfect. Take a breath in. Interlace your fingers, maybe the opposite way. We have a natural way our fingers want to just come together. Maybe put the opposite finger on top. Take a breath in. Draw a line with your nose up. Find that back bend. And now round forward. Rounding your spine, separating your shoulder blades, looking at your belly in the posture of humility. It's so beautiful. See if you can draw your belly in more, round even more. And then slowly come up. Pivot on your heels, turn back towards the long edge of your mat. Go ahead and separate the basket, the weaving of your hands. Reach your arms out wide to a T. Turn your palms up and notice with just that subtle change that the heart lifts so slightly. We're going to take our nose up to the sky. Feel the little extension of the back bend. Take a long breath in here. And now when you exhale, sweep down and fold. Let your hands find the mat. Maybe they reach, maybe they don't. If the knees need to bend slightly, go ahead and let them bend slightly. Hopefully the hands are on the mat or close. And now shift the weight into your toes. So nice. Beautiful. Now take your left hand and just creep it over towards your right foot. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it finds your right knee. Beautiful. Now bring your right arm up to the sky so we get this rotation of the spine, particularly the thoracic spine. Shoulders are somewhat stacked. Maybe the eyes go up as well. Beautiful. Take a long breath in. Bring the right hand back down. Sort of reset the spine, reset the feet. If you need to, bring your right hand this time over to the left. It might find the left foot, it might find the left knee, it might be just close. And your left arm goes up to the sky, and we find that stacked shoulder, that spinning of the spine, if you will. Take a breath in. Go ahead and lower that arm. We're going to pivot on the heels again and just turn all 10 toes back to the front of the mat, and you'll step your left foot to meet your right. Go ahead and grab your ginger oil that's pre-blended with lemon. Nice. Go ahead and roll up slow. Go ahead and roll that little roller ball full of ginger and lemon into your hand. Rub it together. Go ahead and take your hand and slide it down your neck onto your chest. And now cup your hands over your nose and breathe. Ginger is a super spicy hot oil. It's considered very hot, which is why it's diluted with coconut oil and lemon. This one physically is an awesome tool for anything digestive. It's great for motion sickness. It's great for bloating, for upset stomach. It's got some powerful antioxidant protection from seasonal threats. It's a really powerful essential oil, but it's emotionally my favorite for empowerment. This one encourages us to wake up in its spiciness and to be truly present in our lives. This one tosses aside any feelings of powerlessness or feelings of being a victim and truly taking responsibility and action. This is a great essential oil for the third chakra, which is where action comes. It helps us to stop blaming others. It's a beautiful, beautiful essential oil for warrior-like mentality. It's beautiful. Now, I combined it today with lemon to strengthen us and give us confidence to address those obstacles that maybe have been in our life to hold us back. And so as we move into this month of gratitude, maybe some negativity is holding you back. Maybe what has happened is keeping you stagnant. And it's time to let go of that. So we are going to come into some challenge because that's an obstacle that we all have in our lives. And on the yoga mat, a standing balance is an obstacle. So we're going to play a little bit with some standing balance. You can always move to a wall to find stability, or a chair or a couch or something to hold on to, or you can just play. So we're going to go ahead and start with just a simple standing balance. Bring your arms up high. Separate them like tree branches in a Y shape. Bring your right knee up. Your left leg becomes that solid tree trunk. Your right knee is going to bend and open up. Place your right foot on your left leg. It's a tree pose, classic. You can have a kickstand of a tree. That lower branch, your foot, does not have to be up high. Just don't put it on your knee joint. And maybe you wobble. Maybe your forest is windy right now. That's okay. Do your best to find the pose. Remember, it's an obstacle designed to remind us we don't have to be held back by life's obstacles. They're temporary. Maybe there's some beautiful sensation you feel in this obstacle. Maybe it's the heart lifting. Maybe it's finding balance. Maybe it's the steadiness of your breath. But we find within the obstacle goodness. Take another breath in. And now lower everything, including your eyes. Just take one breath cycle. Doesn't have to be long here, but it's nice to just come back to center. Open up your eyes. Bring your arms up to that Y shape again. The right leg becomes the stability. The left knee lifts, it bends. You open it up. Place the left foot directly on the right leg, anywhere except the knee joint, maybe even a kickstand. And you find goodness within the obstacle. Maybe you feel more steady on this side. That's amazing. It's perfect. Maybe you don't. That's perfect too. The work is to just be. Take a breath in. And go ahead and lower everything, including your eyes, just for a moment. Beautiful. Let's play with one more standing balance. It's a pretty classic one. Arms go above the head into that mountain of strength. Right knee lifts directly in front of you. Begin to tip forward, reaching your arms forward as your right leg sweeps through and extends to the back. You're basically balancing parallel to the floor on your left leg. It's called Warrior 3. Remember, ginger oil is an excellent warrior-like mentality. So it's a great oil to come into this wobbly standing balance. Keep reaching with your fingers. Keep reaching the right leg back, back, back. Find parallel. Look at your left toe. It's a good focal point. Take a breath. And then go ahead and inhale, rise and lower everything. Close your eyes, take a breath. Let's try the other side. Arms go high, mountain of strength. Left knee lifts this time directly in front, breathe. Now sweep it through as the arms reach forward. The side might feel very different. It's okay. Breathe. Find the balance. Allow yourself to wobble. It's good. So nice. Take a breath in. Find it, breathe out. And next, inhale, rise up and close your eyes. Beautiful. Now go ahead and walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Toes go off, heels stay on. Bring your palms together at your heart. Start to bend your knees. We come into this yogi squat quite often. It's a great hip opener. It's a great transition back to the mat. So maybe you're halfway, maybe you're 3/4 of the way, maybe you can bend all the way down. Either one is fine. Close your eyes. And then lower your bum all the way to the mat. Stay seated and grab the orange essential oil, that beautiful wild orange. Wild orange is such a beautiful oil for cleansing and purifying. This one is super high in antioxidants, so physically it's going to help against any sort of seasonal and environmental threats. So we have a huge amount of immune boosting going on. And remember, when we use essential oils topically, it is actually better to layer them in the way that we are, one by one, and they work synergistically together to really create this beautiful mechanism in the body that helps our cells do what our cells are designed to do, which is to protect ourselves. So this one is excellent aromatically to uplift and create a positive attitude. So go ahead and take some drops into your hands. This one is also unique in that it's also great for stress and for tension. Citrus oils typically are very uplifting, but orange has this beautiful ability to kind of chill us out. I like to diffuse it at night when I'm sleeping because it does create sort of this lack of stress, mental stress. So go ahead and breathe it in. Just feel that life that you're breathing in. It's like squeezing an orange into a glass or peeling a juicy winter orange. This is the oil of abundance. This one helps to encourage sort of creative thinking, this idea of abundance, of all that is good. It helps us to let go of our need for this thought process of scarcity and fear. And in turn, helps us to focus on joy and fun and spontaneity and playfulness and goodness. This is, to me, the oil of goodness. And if we learn to let go and trust, we know that the universe is going to provide this amount of goodness, whether it comes in the form of partnership and love and opportunities and excitement and finances, whatever it is that you're wanting to make space for. Wild orange is a great essential oil to provide sort of this perspective of bounty, of perspective of goodness, and bring joy and gratitude on our journey. Beautiful. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated cross-legged position if that's good for you. If it's not, you can feel free to bring your arms out in front of you with your legs out in front of you, but we're eventually all going to hold our arms out as if we're holding a tray of something absolutely fabulous. We're going to make an X with our arms with the right arm under to start. So the left arm's on top and you kind of make that X at the elbow crease. And so this is going to force our spine to work a little bit harder as we come into what is known as eagle arms. Start to bend your elbows, keeping that elbow creases hooked together. And now you might find the backs of your hands are comfortable to touch, maybe even hook the fingers. You might be able to wrap an additional wrap around your wrists and bring your palms to touch. And you might not be able to do any of that. So in that case, you keep your elbows squeezing together and just bring your palms to the tops of your shoulders. So we have what's called eagle arms. And what happens here is, again, the shoulder blades in the back are opening. There's this space that's being created to say, okay, this is where I've been, and I understand now. I understand the lessons. I understand where I've come from. I've understanding with gratitude. And so as we squeeze, we are taking circulation, and we're sort of compressing, if you will, compressing the blood vessels. We're going to create this huge amount of circulation in the body to push out anything that doesn't belong anymore. So keep squeezing, maybe close your eyes. Beautiful. Take just a couple breaths here. Remember, we're letting go of that idea of scarcity in whatever it is. Love, bounty, experiences. We're saying thank you to the past. Beautiful. Take one more breath cycle. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing. This is also an excellent pose for blood pressure. Now, unwind the arms. Open them up to a T, as wide as you can. Bring your hands behind you, palms face down, fingers away from you. Lean back onto straight arms and elevate your heart. You might keep your chin down if your neck is sore, or you might lift your chin up to the sky. Close your eyes and breathe, this big heart opener. After we compressed that circulation, we tightened up in the body, and now we are opening up to all that is. Take just a couple more breaths here. Come back to a straight spine. Bring your arms back in front. Hold the tray of something really good in front of you. Perfect. So you're going to switch the X. Put the other arm on the bottom. Nice. Might feel different. Bend your elbows. Take the wrap with the back of the hands, with the palms of the hands. If neither of those options work, grab your shoulders, but you're squeezing tight. You're creating this tight little package. Keep compressing here. Keep squeezing. Notice the shoulder blades opening in the back. Feel it. Keep feeling it. Beautiful. We're going to explode out into that circulation. Take a couple breaths. Now, open up big. Spread your arms. Feel it. Maybe look up. Open your heart up to all that's good. Bring your hands behind you. Lean back onto those straight arms. Lift your heart, lift your nose, and breathe. Beautiful. Straighten your spine. Bring your arms back to front. Go ahead and straighten your legs out in front. Tuck your tailbone and slowly wind down to the mat. Beautiful. Grab your sandalwood essential oil on your way down. Reach over and grab it. Sandalwood, beautiful oil. Go ahead and open up the bottle. It's a little thicker. It may be harder to get out of the bottle. So you can just turn it upside down, rub your finger along the top, and then put it right there on your mustache. And then take another amount of that sandalwood and put it directly on your forehead between your eyebrows, known as the third eye. Beautiful. Swipe your mustache again. This is a good one. It's worth having 2 swipes. Bring your feet back in towards your cheeks. Knees are going to go high. We're going to come back to bridge pose. And we're going to work through this idea of leading through the month with the heart. Bring your arms down by your side. Let your back sink down against the floor. Feel that connection here. And now start to elevate the hips. Close your eyes. Every breath, push into the feet. This requires some engagement of the glutes, of the back, but the heart is elevated. So sandalwood is historically used in meditation, in spiritual connection, and a lot of rituals. Historically, over centuries, sandalwood has been used. It's both sedating and harmonizing and calming. It's really a beautiful choice to both ground and uplift the spirit. This one's excellent physically for smoothing out wrinkles of the skin. It's used in a lot of skin products. It's excellent for the heart, cardiovascular system. And for somebody who has some occasional low back pain, sandalwood is particularly good when there's an overload in the nervous system. So if you have sciatic pain, applying sandalwood at the low back or along the base of the skull, cervical spine is a great choice. Keep breathing. Keep staying in this place where the heart is above the head. We did a lot of back bends today, so we're going to finish with this one, which is a variation of a back bend. Emotionally, sandalwood's the oil of sacred devotion. This one teaches us on a very deep, soulful, spiritual level to have gratitude, reverence, and devotion for spirit in our life. This one is an excellent antidote for this materialistic culture, which often leaves us feeling really frazzled and empty and disjointed and disconnected. This one helps us to realign our priorities away from that material grabbiness to more of an inward direction of focusing towards devotion and love. I chose this one to finish our practice, to end in a sense of peace, a sense of wonder, a sense of grace for what our life lessons, our past, and our interactions of our future offer us on our journey. Take one more breath cycle here. Then slowly begin to melt down to the mat. You're going to hug your knees in and take a big squeeze. Take the sandalwood again. Wipe it onto your mustache. Put it on your third eye, space between the brow. Remember, this is a beautiful oil for peace, for wonder, for grace. It is so amazing in its ability to ground us and redirect us from that need for fame and wealth and acceptance and greed and material to a beautiful space that's centered around the heart of gratitude, of love, devotion, reverence. Go ahead and start to find your body in the very last posture, the most comfortable yet hardest sometimes posture, where we just lay in stillness with ourselves. I want you to put your hand right there on your heart. Let's go back and review Rosemary for awakening us to acknowledge all that we have, to bring us into the present. The lemon to help us sort of release that congestion of our life, the congestion of our mind, the congestion of our heart, the congestion of our spirit, and to truly make space. And then we came into the breathe blend, and we are taking in what we need to support and calm a peaceful mind. And we use ginger to empower us, to find that spiciness within each of us, that strength, that warrior spirit. And then we used wild orange just to raise up that vibration of joy and abundance and goodness, that sweetness of wild orange. And then we finished with sandalwood. It turns us to grace and to gratitude. So take a few moments here just to allow everything to integrate and to soak in. And as we move into November, for the last several years, I've created a challenge for my students, and I want to offer it to you. I challenge you to go to the dollar store or to a grocery store, a pharmacy, and pick up a notebook. It doesn't have to be anything special. It can be a dollar notebook from the dollar store. But I encourage you to take a little notebook and begin a formal gratitude practice. And a formal gratitude practice looks like deliberate and intentional gratitude every single day, starting with 3, I would ideally say 5 things to be grateful for. And it's really easy in the beginning. We have our friends, our family, our house, our food, our animals. Simple. But when we're intentional and we have a formal gratitude practice, we can't repeat the same thing in 1 week. And we have to start looking deeper. So if you are grateful for your friends, I would say, what about having your friends? What about that one particular person do you find gratitude for? Look for the feeling underneath the gratitude. So friendships help us to feel like we belong. Family helps us to feel connected and to feel cared for. Our homes give us security. Our animals give us comfort. So you can go a little bit deeper than the obvious. But as the days go on, you might feel like you're running out of things to write down in your book. And I will challenge you. You have 5 things with you every single day. You have your senses, what you tasted, what you smelled, what you heard, what you saw, and what you touched. And each day can be different. Today, you saw the beautiful sunrise. You smelled coffee. You tasted wonderful foods. You touched the soft fur of a cat. See where I'm going? Every day you have 5 things to write down in your gratitude journal. Now I will tell you over time, you're rerouting neural pathways in your brain to a center in your brain that looks for joy, it looks for abundance, and it looks for goodness. And with this deliberate practice, you will find that you are less likely to be negative and complain and more likely to find good. So it can change your life. It definitely changed mine. I have 17 years of little notebooks on a bookshelf. And anytime I think my life's not good, I just have to pull one out and see all the goodness in my life. So that's my challenge for you. I hope that you join me in it. And I hope that beyond November, it becomes part of your daily life. Thank you so much for joining in this extra special Essential Yoga gratitude for November. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay as long as you want on your mat. Come back to the practice over and over, and take care. And I hope to see you all really soon. Be well.